Good morning, students. I welcome you in part 2 of chapter Sectors of the Indian Economy. Let's start with Gross Domestic Product. What is the meaning of GDP? Its full form is Gross Domestic Product. But what is Gross Domestic Product? The value of all final goods and services produced within a country during a particular year is known as Gross Domestic Product. Here it's written the value of all final goods. Yesterday I told you that for measuring the GDP of any country we count only the value of final goods, not of intermediate goods. So it's written the value of all final goods and services produced within a country during a particular year. Means in 1 year how many goods and services are produced within a country, means in the boundary of a country. Whether those goods or services are produced by Indians or by foreigners doesn't matter. So what is GDP? The value of all final goods and services produced within the boundary of a country during a particular year by its residents as well as by the foreigners is known as GDP. There is one difference in GDP and GNP. GDP and GNP. GDP, gross domestic product. Suppose this is our country India. All the goods and services which are produced within the boundary of our country, whether they are produced by residents of India or by foreigners, they are included in GDP. Suppose in India there is American company, the goods are produced by that company, but its value will be included in GDP. And what is GNP? Its full form is Gross National Product. The value of all goods and services produced by the residents of a country. The value of all the goods and services produced by the residents of a country, whether they are living within the country or any other country, doesn't matter. Here you can see the value of all the goods and services produced within a boundary of country by its residents or foreigners. That is GDP. But what is GNP, gross national product? The value of all the goods and services produced only by the residents of a country. It doesn't matter those residents are living in their own country or in any other country. Suppose from India any person has opened company in Australia. So after earning money in Australia, that person will send back money to India. So that will be included in GNP because that money is earned by the residents of a country. In India, the mammoth task of measuring GDP is undertaken by a central government ministry. This ministry, with the help of various government departments of all the Indian states and union territories, collect information relating to total volume of goods and services and their prices and then estimates the GDP. Who is responsible to measure GDP of our country? Central government ministry. With the help of various government departments, it collects information about all the goods and services and then estimate the GDP. Next is historical changes in sector. Over the years, many changes have been found within the three sectors. Earlier, many people were engaged in primary sector, but within process of time, people made shift from primary to secondary sector, and from last 100 years we find that there is a gradual shift from secondary to tertiary sector. As the methods of farming changed and agriculture sector began to prosper, it produced much more food than before. Many people could now take up other activities. Earlier people had not much food to eat. So most of the people were engaged in agriculture. They fulfilled all their needs from agriculture. But due to development in agriculture, the production of food grains increased. People got money by selling those food grains, and they decided to engage themselves in some other activities. There were increasing number of craft persons and traders. Buying and selling activities increased many times. Besides, there were also transporters, administrators, army, etc. However, at this stage, most of the goods produced were natural product from the primary sector. Due to development in agriculture, many people got money. They started to invest their money in other activities. They also engaged in other activities. Later, over a long time, and due to new methods of manufacturing, factories came up and started expanding. Those people who were early working only on farms, then they started to work in factories. People began to use more goods because in the factories goods were produced at very low rate. So common people could afford those goods. Secondary sector gradually became the most important in total production and employment. Hence, over time, a shift had taken place. This means that the importance of the sectors changed. Earlier, people were mostly engaged in primary sector, then secondary sector, and in the last 100 years, we notice that there has been further shift from secondary to tertiary sector in the developed countries, especially mentioned developed countries. Actually, countries are divided into three categories: developed countries, developing countries, and underdeveloped countries. Developed mean who are fully developed. Most of the people in the developed countries are engaged in tertiary sector. This sector has become very important because it provides services. So we can notice that there are many changes in the sectors. Primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors in India. Here you can see graph 1. In it you can see the contribution of different sectors in the economy of country in GDP. 2 years are mentioned: 1973, 74, and 2013 and 14. You can see during 1973-74 the economy of India was not well, but in 2013-14 we can see that Indian economy, the value of Indian economy is more than 55 lakh crore rupees in crore. So these are 55 lakh crore. In 2013-14, the total value of Indian economy was more than 55 lakh crore. And in it you can see that there is much development in the tertiary sector. Why is this sector getting so developed? There are many reasons. The first one is reasons for development of tertiary sector. The first reason is basic services. In any country, several services such as hospitals, educational institutions, post and telegraph services, police stations, courts, village administrative offices, municipal corporations, defense, transport, banks, insurance companies are required. All these are the basic services. For the development of any country, it's the responsibility of the government to provide all these services. And tertiary sector is also known as service sector because it provides services. If there will be development of services in any country, it means there is development of tertiary sector. And government mainly focuses on providing all these services to the people because it's the responsibility of the government. Which basic services? Hospitals, educational institutions, defense, transport, banks, insurance companies, village administrative offices, municipal corporations, courts, all these are basic services. And development of these services led to development of a tertiary sector. Next, there is development of means of transport, development of means of transport and communication. The development of agriculture and industry leads to development of services such as transport, trade, storage. Due to development in agriculture, there was a need of transport to carry goods from one place to another. Trade was developed. There was need of storage. Greater the development of the primary and secondary sectors, more would be the demand for such services. When primary and secondary sector develop, automatically there is development of the tertiary sector because tertiary sector provide facilities for their development. Tertiary sector provide transport, communication, banks, insurance, storage facilities, health facilities, educational facilities. Next, there is more income, more services. More income, more services. When people have much more money, they demand for more services. They want good educational facilities. They want more services like eating out, tourism, shopping, private hospitals, private schools, professional training, etc. And this has happened because of the increasing income. Now people have more money, and with the help of that money they can purchase, they can arrange anything. When they have money, they demand for more services, and due to increasing income of people, the service sector has been expanding. Next, there is new services. Over the past decade or so, certain new services such as those based on information and communication technology have become important and essential. The production of these services has been rising rapidly. We have seen that there is much development in information and communication technology. Now people use internet. Most of the work is done with the help of mobiles, computers. Due to globalization and modernization, these services have become part of every person's life. The production of these services has been rising rapidly, so the service sector is growing. Due to all these reasons, the tertiary sector, which is also known as a service sector, is growing because this sector provides basic services which are required for the development of any country. Next, there is development of the means of transportation and communication. Automatically, there is development of tertiary sector. People are earning more money, they demand for better services. And fourth one, new services like information technology have come up. That's why tertiary sector is gaining importance. Where are most of the people employed? Here you can see Share of sectors in GDP. Here I have written, you can see tertiary sector contributes much more in GDP of our country. 54.40% is contributed by tertiary sector. The contribution of primary sector in Indian GDP is 18.57% and of secondary sector is only 27.03%. But according to the contribution of different sectors in GDP, the share of employment is not same. Here you can see in 2011-12 it's shown that only 49% people engaged in primary sector, 24% in secondary and 27% in tertiary sector. There is a shift in the share of different sectors in GDP, but there is no shift in the share of different sectors in employment. So industrial output or the production of goods went up by more than 9 times during the period. Means the production of goods went up 9 times, but employment in the industry went up only 3 times. In same way, in tertiary sector, the production in service sector rose by 14 times and employment in the service sector rose around 5 times. Means contribution has increased many times, but employment rate is not increased. Goods went up, production of goods went up by 9 times, but employment increased only 3 times. In tertiary sector, production in service sector increased by 14 times, but employment increased only 5 times. Due to this reason, we can find that most of the people in India are engaged in agriculture, which is activity of primary sector. Thank you.